Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so today we will start with the functions and modular programming. So basically, what is function? What functions are? Functions are the just small block of codes that can be reused again and again in any other future course or future other form. Okay, so the advantages of the functions are that these are maintainable and you don't have to write the same code multiple times. Okay, so as you can see in the slide, you have the syntax of the function. For the syntax, there is a keyword called def. It is used for defining or creating a function. By this keyword, the Python compiler will understand that uh, we are trying to create our own function. Okay. Here, as you can see in the syntax, def function name parameters. Parameters means that the values or the variables that will be required while running the function. Okay. For example, if I create a function of addition, where we have to add two numbers. So for the function to work, first of all, we need to give it two numbers. Okay. So that two numbers will be the parameters of the function addition. And then we will return the value, which will be the result of the code block that is inside the function. Okay. Returns means return is also a keyword that will return the value from function to a variable that we will assign it to. Okay. So let's just see types of functions. There are many functions that are already pre-built in the Python. For example, as you learned some of them in the previous lectures, print, whenever you need to show the output of the variable, we use print. So print is also a function. And whenever we need to find the length of the list, like the amount of variables inside a list or tuple or dictionary or any other data structure, we use len function. Len is also a function. These all same as type and sum. These are the functions that are already in the Python. So we call them as built-in functions. Okay, built-in functions means the functions that are already provided by the Python to us. Then we have user-defined functions. User-defined functions means like the function that we create for our own. Okay, like if we want to create a function like addition of two numbers. Okay, we have already plus in the plus operator in the Python. But suppose we have to create a function of addition. So it is a user-defined function. We are defining it. So that function will be created using def. Okay. As you can see in the slide, created by the programmer using def. Okay. These are called user-defined functions. Okay. So we will go to the code after this slide. Okay. So why use functions? The function there, as you can see, there are many advantages of using a function. Okay, don't have to write same type of code again and again. We can reuse code reusability, easier debugging. We can easily if we have function in the code, we can easily debug like what is wrong happening in the code, what is wrong happening in the code, because at that time we just need to check our function or just tweak one or line here and there. Okay, it's also help in logically organizing our code. Okay. Uh, Suppose like you have to write a large code. Okay. The code contains like 100, 200 lines. Okay. So, and you are keep on repeating same blog again and again, or your one function is another part of the code and another function is another part of the code. So it will be like very messy code. Okay. So functions are also help in logical code organization. So what happens is like when you use a function, there the same a certain amount of code block will be only used when it is required. So it helps in logical organization. You don't have to look for every line by line in every code. Okay. Also, it also helps in collaboration in large projects. You can uh, use functions from previous files. We will see in the code or in the next slides. You can also avoid collaboration in large projects. Yeah. As I was saying, like you can use functions from various different other files. Okay. Like for example, you use Python built-in functions. Okay. and again. You can just write one function and save your time and save your energy. Okay. So now we'll go to the code. So first of all, let us go with the code. Let us define the function, a simple function, addition. Okay. And I'm automatically indentation here. Okay. So this colon is also important while defining a function. And okay, so def by defining function which is name addition, and we have given a variable a and b. So let's just say we have taken for let's just use return. Return is also keyword, which means that we are returning a value from this is the result of the function to any another variable that we will define the function to. Okay, so return a plus b. Okay, let's just say oh okay. Environment is connecting. Yeah. So see, the function has been created. Okay. Now, if I call the function, let's just say I will take the variable c. Okay. C is equals to addition. Now I'm giving the value here is 2 comma 4. Okay. So what happened here is the addition value, whatever will be the result of this function, the result will be assigned to variable c. Okay. And then print c. Here we are also using print, which is Python built-in function. Okay. So if I uh, run this code, see, you will get the result here, which is 6. 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. Okay. So let me repeat again. Def function is used to define a function. It is basically we are giving it an indication that we want to create a function of our own. Okay. Then give it give a function name, whatever name you want it to be, and give some parameters. Okay. As you can see, if I hover over the parameters, you can see it is written a parameter a colon any. Any means that a can be of any type. Okay. Right now we haven't defined any type of even type of variable. You can also define the type of variable. I will show it to you on the like at the middle or end of the lecture. So basically, first of all, you need to understand like what functions really are and what they do. Okay. So any other function? Uh, let's just if I create a function, this I'm in dev. This time what should I create? Let's just say multiply. Okay. This time I'm also giving two variables. You don't need to like uh, use A and B or any. You can use anything. Okay. Let me show you. This time I'm using num1. Okay, and num2. So, but you need to use these parameters inside the function. Okay. Otherwise, it can give an error. Inside the function, you have to only variables that are used in the num2. Okay. Now instead of going to another block, I'm writing here d we also multiply num1 num2. Okay, you can already see it already showing that it takes two parameters, num1 and num2. Of type any. Okay. And I'll just say this time thing 56, comma 26. Okay. I'm printing result of variable d. Okay. The result of the multiply function will be stored in the d. That's what return variable is doing. That it will return the value to a variable that it is assigned to. Okay. See, we've already got the result. So these are the user defined functions. Like you can create the function of your own, any function of your own. Okay. It's just an example. You can create like countless function, whatever you need to know. Okay. Now let's just say there are one or two things I should show you in the function so that it clears the concept. Let's just edit the multiply function. This time I'm not giving num1, sorry, num2. Instead of 8, I'm giving b. Okay. Now b is not defined in the parameters. Okay. And I'm not changing anything in the below lines. I'm just giving b. Okay. Let's see what happens. See, it started giving name error. Okay. Which means name b is not defined. Okay. So inside the function, the parameters value, the name of the parameters that are given, you only need to use that function, only those parameters. Okay. Now you can give countless number of parameters there. You can give num3, num4, till infinity, whatever you want. Okay. There's also a keyword. I will show it to you in some time. Okay. Okay. Num2. Okay. Yeah. Done. And let's just go to slides then. Let's see what's next. So these are the user defined functions. Here, there's no function called multiply here. Okay. I created the multiply function on my own. Same as you can also create any function of your own. You just need to know what you need to write in the code and what should the function return. Okay. And you can write any function then. Okay. So let's go next slide. Creating and calling a function. Okay. As we have already seen in the code, uh, here the function is created greet. Okay. And it's not mandatory to give parameters. Okay. You can give any, you can give parameter, you can not, you should not or do not want to give parameters on you. Okay. You need to know what type of function you are creating. And according to that, you can just work with the parameters. Okay. So def greet. Here we have used print inside the function. Okay. So it's the same as return, pretty much do the same as return. But instead of you, this time we can already call, sorry, this time we can directly call the parameter function here. Okay. So let's just see in the code. Def greet print hello, welcome to Foundation. Okay. Now I can just like call it here like this without assigning it to the variable. See. Okay. This time what we are doing is calling and then printing the result. Okay. I'm not returning any type of value like taking from calculation done and then returning it to variable. Okay. Or we can also do it like this while what we were doing earlier, like assign it to a variable and just use the variable to print the value of the function. Oh, see here, since we have used the print, okay. So what happened is B didn't get any value from the variable, sorry, from the function. Okay. Since we have no return keyword here, print. Okay. So what happens is greet function called, but we have not gotten any value to variable B. Okay. If I use return instead, return. Okay. See, calling the function is same. Okay. We because we are working on a notebook, so it will write code nevertheless. Okay. Now, if I this time using the same code, see, now none is gone, and we have given the value of function greet to the variable. Okay. Return what return is doing is assigning the result of the function which is greet to the variable which is b. Okay. While if we are using print, it was not happening. So that's why earlier we was getting the result none here. Okay. So keep that in mind. Like always, it's a best practice to use return instead of print. Okay. You can also write print like if you have some practice in code or don't want while practicing don't want to waste time, just call the function. I can write the return later when I writing a code for someone else or just project. Then you can write print there, but best practice would be to write a return. Okay. So already we have done this example, and same as we done with the addition. It's just that this time the the function name is same, different. Def add number. Earlier we use addition. It's the same. You can give any name to the function of your choice. Okay, whatever you want. So here we are returning a value which is a plus b, and then assigning it to variable which is result, and then print the sum comma result. We just like adding the string here to like to making more fancy. Okay? Let's just go to the code here in the addition function, the code which we wrote at the very first time. In, Instead of using this like print c here, I can also use some comma c. Okay, see, sum equal to 6. Nothing, whatever, what happens is like you can write any string here. It just with comma, it gives some space and give you the result. Okay, you can write any string or you can like combination of string with concatenation and all that. You can just write it, write it in practice and whatever result it will print, it will print. Okay, now, okay, so local variable. Okay, local variable defined inside the function accessible only there. Okay, I think example A is not displaying, but I will show it in the code. Okay, and the global variable defined outside all the functions and accessible everywhere. Okay, so what is happening here is local variable are the variables which are defined inside the function, which are inside the code block of function and can be accessible only through that code. If you try to access it outside the code, it won't. It will give you an error. Okay, sorry. And the global variable is like it is defined outside all the functions and it can be accessed everywhere. Okay. For global variable, I think we need to use a keyword for global. I will show the example in the code. Okay. I think some formatting error is there. Okay. So let's just create a new function. And this time we are dividing two numbers. Okay. A comma B. Should return A comma A divided by B. Okay. Instead of using just result with return, I'm declaring a new variable here called c. Okay, the value of c will take the result of a divided by b. I think I've already used c somewhere, so I should take like result res. Okay, res means short form for result. Okay, return res. Okay, now if I go create a function like this, and print the value of res. See, res is not defined because res is a function which is inside the code block. Let me write in a comment. Res is only inside the code block. So we can only access res inside the function only. Okay. So res is a variable that can be only inside the access on inside the function only. Okay. So that means res is a local variable. Okay. If we now take the result, let's just take what's random h. Okay. So divide 4 by 2. No, sorry, 4 2. Okay. Print h. See, it has given the result. Okay. But rest can we cannot access rest here. Okay. Now what do I do? Like is there is a keyword called global. Okay. Global rest equal to 3. Okay. I'm also giving a value. Let's just say if it's work or not. Syntax error. Okay. Now, yeah, now it's fine. I think there will be something. Okay. Now I've defined a variable using a keyword called global. Okay. So inside the code block that we will be defining here. Okay. For example, def. This time I'm taking subtraction. So, okay. A comma B. Now, this not like this. Okay. Let's just say rest equal to A divided by B. Let's just do that. Uh, Return rest. Okay. Now, if I okay, so it should be accessible. Let's just define the function here. So local we have already know. Global, I guess. Let's just see if there's any syntax here. Okay. Okay. X is equals to 10. Global def show. Okay. We don't have to use the global. My mistake. We can just define it here. X is equals to 10. And then def sum. Just this time I'm not taking any parameters there. Okay. So let's just take one parameter. Okay. Let's just call it else. Okay. Since we didn't get any error. Okay. Def sum q is equals to sum. Let's just take a variable to okay print q. See we get the result. So we didn't have to use the global variable with that. You can just find a variable here, just a random variable, and then use it in a short term. Okay. So these are the global variables. I guess it was my mistake. They're using keyword global. Okay. And now, so we have gone to the concept of local and global. Let me write in a comment. X is a global variable. We can access this function inside any other function. Um, with x. Let's just say 20%. Okay, see, we had the value of x, which was 10. And then we added 20. Okay, and the result is 30. 10 plus 20 is 30. So you can also use it like this. This is function block. Okay, you can write like the whatever happens inside the function will be a function block. Okay, and then x here, which is outside the function block, can be accessed through any function. Okay, so let's go back to slides. And so we next topic is modular programming concept. Okay, so what are modules? Like large programs that are divided into independent modules, which are five. So what happened is, what happens is, like suppose you created a Python code like 3 months ago. Okay, and you remember clearly that you created a function there that can easily be used in the new code that you are working on right now. Okay, so now you don't want to write the function again, that function again. Okay, so what can we do? Like, so you can use, what you can do is you can use that file and you can directly import that function from that and just you use it like you use built-in Python built-in function. Okay, so as we can see in example, like there's a module called maths.utils.py. Okay, which is basically a file that created by someone. Okay, dev square num return num star matlab num into multiply by num. Main file import math utils. Import is a keyword that used to import the other files. Okay, print math utils dot square files. uh, okay, so let's see in the code. uh, for example, let's just say there's also pre-built modules. Okay, so these are the codes that are written by someone else and you can use it in your Python code. Okay, from using a keyword called import. Okay, import math. Okay, math is a module which contains various mathematical operations in the form of functions. Okay, you can also call it a library. Same library module like a keyword is the same. So I'm importing math. Okay, now I can access every function that is written inside the math. Let's see math dot. See, all these functions are created by someone else and saved in the Python library folder. Sorry, library folders. Okay. Same way, you can also create your own module, and you just need to have that module in the same folder in your new code. I will show it to you in the py file. Okay. Let's just see if I use math dot, let's just say seal. Okay. Seal is a often access written the ceiling often accessing integral. Okay. Let's just say using a function seal x greater than, this is the smallest integer that is greater than equal to x. Let's just say give 5. Okay. What happened? 5. So 5, okay, it is should given a load value 5.26. In what seal function does is it gives the least value that is greater least amount of least integer, sorry, least integer that is greater than the given number. Okay, I have given a 5.2, so it will give greater than or equal to, sorry, greater than or equal to, I was only saying greater than or equal to, which is 6. So basically I what I did was use a seal function which is inside the module math and give it a value 5.2 and it will return 6. So it is a module. Okay. Let's do one thing. I will create one py file and give it a name of addition dot py. This time we are working on Python. Okay. Now I will create def addition and using a comma b return a plus b. Okay. Now code is saved. I've all switched on the auto save. So it is a file has been saved. Okay. Now what happen? I will create another file and this time I will give it a name of uh, let's just give it a name of example. Not example, study modules. Okay. Dot py. See, now what happens is like there's also a addition file. There's also a study module file, as you can see. Okay. I will use import keyword, import addition. As you can see, it is already there. Okay. Addition. Now this addition file will be imported in the study module file as a module, which is created by me, uh, end user. Okay. And let's just say variable, we will assign it to a variable called add. Okay. Add is equal to addition dot, since addition is a module which is inside the addition function. I think you will get confused by name. Instead of giving addition, I will give like add. Okay. Code is saved. Let's run it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now addition is module and we will use add function. As you can already see, here the function definition is also there. Like B any type, C A any type, B any type, and result will give, and I will give you a demonstration on that too. Add, I am giving value 2 comma 4 and print add. Okay. Now if we go run this file, see there is a result. Okay. It's very small. Instead of just add, I'm giving it a string called sum. So it can be easily seen. Okay. Sum. See, if you sum is 6, sum colon 6, as I given in the print statement. Okay. Here, give the function given the add variable and printed the variable, and we have given got the okay. So this is how module works. You can make your own module also and try to import in another file. Like suppose I wrote that addition function like 5 6 months ago. Okay, and I know there is a function in addition which is called add, and I will be requiring it in my present code. Okay, so what I didn't create add function again. I just imported the file, and from that file I've already got the access of function add, through which now I don't have to write the addition function again. And since I know that modules work like this, I can just create functions and for the future use, and I can directly import them. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so any doubts up till here? No, I guess. Okay, so these are the modules. Okay, you can import them, create using keyword import. Okay, so Python offers many, I mean many modules which you can import. Okay, for the example, which was where was the file functions? Yeah, here is the import math. Okay, I didn't create math file. Okay, it came with the Python installation, and it is one of the many Python modules, or you can also many people use libraries which are in which Python offers itself. Okay, so if I try to import any file, NumPy. Okay, you can see NumPy, the documentation that you use in uh, arrays and mathematical operations over array, linear algebra. You will learn about NumPy in the end phase of the lecture. Sorry, end phase of the internship. Okay, so these are many Python modules that can be used for import. Okay, that can be used, and you don't need to like create every function from scratch, because sometimes these functions get very complicated and you can't create them. Okay, so Python itself offers these functions so that you can easily reuse them in your code. Okay, as you can see in the example, there's a module called mathutils.py. There is a function in that file, and then we go to the main file, import the mathutils, and print the square, which was function created in the mathutils file. Okay, and we can all easily get the result from there, which will be printed. Yeah. So next, so we have reached the end, I guess. Okay. So what are the things that we learned here? Functions are the simplify coding and promote reusability. Sorry, functions simplify coding and promote reusability. This means functions often simplify our codes, and we can use this function again and again whenever we want, as we see. Okay, as we already see, we can just use the keyword import, and then import the file. And just we don't need to like write the function again and again and again. Okay, always document. Oh yeah, always document test your functions first. Yeah, you should always document like what, because how will you know? Like no one remembers like 6 months ago I created some function and where was the file. So you need to document all these. Okay, just write it in a document form that there's a file, or it is in the create. You can also use commenting statements in the code. Like this is a function from addition and subtraction. Okay, test your functions first. So yeah, it is important. Like you need to test your functions first before implementing them. Okay, run it with some uh, sample parameters. to test like whether a function is working properly or not. Okay. And last, practice makes perfection. You need to practice again and again. Uh, Try more complex functions. Okay. If you want like really need to grasp the concept of function, because functions will be everywhere. You have to create functions. Okay. Sorry. You have to create functions in every code from now on. Okay. Whether it's assignments or you need to like develop something app of your own or any uh, any module you need to create, you need to create functions. So functions are very important. They are building blocks. Okay. So this is your assignment. Write a function to calculate a factorial of a number. Okay. And for those who don't know what is factorial, factorial is basically means you multiply the number from till multiply a given number till uh, in the reverse counting till one. Let's just say if I need to know factorial of 5. Okay. So 5 factorial will be 5 into 4 into 2 into 1. Okay. As already there is given a hint, factorial equals to n into n minus 1, n minus 2, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 till 1. Okay. These are called factorial of a number. Okay. So we have reached the end. So let me give you some another takeaways from these
If I think there is a bandwidth issue,
lecture.
you can switch off your camera so that we can save on some bandwidth.
Yeah, just just
Yeah, your voice is coming and going, Shiv. Harsh, is it the same for you, or is it only me who is facing this?
Yes, sir. The sound and the video is pausing and starting again and again.
Yeah. Shiv, you're able to hear us?
again, I think it's some network issue. Actually, I'm not at my home right now. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yeah, this looks better.
Okay, actually, I was not at my home right now. So there will be some network connectivity issue there.
No worries.
Yeah. So if there's any point that you need to reiterate to, I can show it again. Okay. Is there any points you need me to reiterate?
Harsh, you have any questions? Anything that you want Shiv to repeat?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I was just giving us some like additional point here. Like if I hover over these functions that I created myself, you can see like there was always like uh, see here I've been given a function a comma b and it shows arrow and any. Okay, what it means is right like a can be of any data type. Here I can also, for the sake of like given example, I've given just simple integers. Okay, here a means it can be anything. You can also give string. Okay, if you try to give a string and b is an integer, it will definitely give an error here because uh, you cannot add an integer and string. You can add in string and string with concatenation. Okay, and with arrow, any means like what type of output the function will give. Okay, it sometimes get complicated, so you don't need to like focus on this point, and you can leave it. But for a better practice, so your code can be an error free, we used to generally our functions are written like these, as you can see in the description at the higher level. Okay. I will give you some example here. I will use the same function addition. That just instead of using addition, I will just use the add. Okay. This time I am giving int. Okay. Here what I did is like a should only be int of type integer. Okay. And b should also be of type int. Okay. Now we will see what will happen if I uh, and the result. Okay. For result, we will use arrow here. I think it's some given error. Let's see it in the next time. Okay. So a is equals to a value of a will be int and b will be integer. Okay. Like a variable, sorry, natural numbers 1, 2, 3. Okay. We will return the value of a plus b and assign it to the variable s add 2 comma 4 3 print s. Okay. The result is given 5, just like addition, nothing new. Okay. And uh, unlike the parameters, if we try to give here 3.5, it will also give 5.5. Okay. Because it's just a like you are just defining here. Like these are not enforceable. Okay. It's just like for better practice. Like if someone is reading your code, so you have already specified like A should be integer type and B should be of integer type. Okay. It's for better practice. And this time you see also in the parameters, see, instead of any that was coming earlier, we have all, it's now showing integer type, A and B both. And the result, what will we get from A is also an integer type. Well, it depends on the like what value you give A and B, but still it's showing like integer type. See, as you can see in, oh, sorry. Yeah, you can see right now my screen. I'm not sure like is my screen visible or not.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
It is
Okay.
visible.
Okay. So it's just for better practice here. When someone try to read your code, it's not like every time you only you will have the access to your code. Sometimes your teammate or anyone else can have sure need to have access to your code so he can see like what kind of function there it is written. Okay. So it's for just for practice or better writing etiquettes if I may. Okay. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just a second, Shiv. Harsh, you
Yeah.
had a question?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Shiv.
Okay. Yeah. So that was it. Like you can just write it here, the variable, or two if I like if my voice was gone for in the between, I will just repeat the entire lecture, give you a key summary of the lecture. Like in this lecture, we created a function by using a keyword called def, and here it is a name of a function that we can use any name of our choice, and we can also give parameters here, or it also depends on whether we want to give the parameters or not. Inside the parentheses, these are called parameters, and this is a function name, and we are created it using a keyword called def. Okay, and then return is also a keyword which will return the value of the function to the assigned variable. In this example, the assigned variable is c, and the value it will assign to will be the result of the function called addition. Okay, and then we have printed a value called sum which is equal to 6, and that's the result. Same with multiply and same with the greet. Okay, yeah, divide. Earlier we also studied about the how to import files called modules. from one code to another. Here we are, like as you can see in the screen, we have created one addition file and then created a function called add, and then we imported that function add using the import statement which we use to import modules in the addition in the a file called study materials using study module. Sorry, we use a keyword module. Sorry, keyword import. I'm sorry, keyword import and the imported addition file as a module, and then use add function from that file to our new file called study modules, and then get the result from that. Okay, so this was the gist of the entire lecture. And as your assignment, you have already know that you have to create a function that will calculate the factorial of any given number, which will depend on the end user. Okay, you just need to give the value of the of any you can use any number as a parameter inside the function, and then you have to calculate the factorial of that. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay.